Welcome back to the SurveyTribe YouTube channel, where we simplify research for beginners. In this video, we're continuing from our previous discussion on sample size. Today, we will dive into the key guidelines you should follow to accurately calculate the number of participants needed for your research study. If you're new here, click on that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future updates. In our last video, we introduced you to sample size in quantitative research and briefly stated why sample size is crucial in research. We mentioned that selecting an appropriate sample size is crucial because it directly affects the precision and generalizability of your research findings. Without enough participants, your results may not be accurate or applicable to a broader population. But how do you know how many participants you need? That's exactly what we're going to discuss in today's video. Below are some guidelines or ways to generate sample size in a quantitative research study. Number 1. Roscoe's 1975 Guidelines. Roscoe provides some rules of thumb about sample size. He stated that in most behavioral studies, a sample size between 30 and 500 is generally sufficient. When the sample size is less than 30, the accuracy of the results will be affected. When the sample size exceeds 500, the study becomes more susceptible to type 1 error. A type 1 error happens when a researcher wrongly rejects a true null hypothesis, meaning he thinks there is an effect or difference when there actually isn't. In other words, it occurs when you incorrectly conclude there is an effect or difference when none actually exists. This happens because of the excessively large sample size. For example, if there is no real relationship or effect between two variables, but the researcher concludes that there is a real relationship or effect because their sample size was excessively large, that error is known as type 1 error. Number 2. The sample-to-item ratio. According to Memon et al. 2020, the sample-to-item ratio is used to determine the sample size based on the number of items in a study. According to this rule, the ratio should not be less than 5:1. A minimum of 5 respondents per item is recommended, though 20 per item is considered better. For example, 30 items would require 150 respondents at a 5:1 ratio or 600 at a 20:1 ratio. Number 3. The sample-to-variable ratio. The sample-to-variable ratio recommends at least 5 respondents per independent variable. However, having 15 or 20 per variable is preferred for stronger results. While the 5:1 ratio is an absolute minimum, it often leads to underpowered studies. For example, only 25 respondents for 5 variables. This weakens statistical reliability and reviewer confidence. Higher ratios improve power and should be used when possible, especially if representativeness or generalizability is important. Hare et al. 2018 recommended that ratios of 15:1 or 20:1 are preferred for more representativeness or generalizability. Number 4. The Kretschke and Morgan table. KMT is a widely used tool for determining sample size in behavioral and social sciences that requires no calculations. The KMT is a table that lists various population sizes and corresponding recommended sample sizes. By using the table, you do not need to perform any calculations. All you are required to do here is to find the row that corresponds to your population size, and the table will then provide the recommended sample size for that population. Moreover, KM states that 380 for respondents are enough for populations of 1 million or more, but the sample must be representative. Many misuse it without understanding its assumptions. It should only be applied with probability sampling methods. For non-probability sampling, you can use the entire population as your sample size if it is equal to or lesser than 100. Number 5. Online sample size calculators like Rausoft, Calculator.net, ClinCalc.com are very easy to use as they require inputs such as confidence level, margin of error, and population size. They are easy to use and widely applied in social science research but also rely on probability sampling assumptions. Researchers should understand these assumptions and avoid using the tools as a one-size-fits-all solution. So that wraps up our look at the essential guidelines for determining sample size. giving you the tools to plan your research with confidence and precision. Remember, choosing the right sample size is crucial for the success of your research. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your study is well-powered and yields reliable, generalizable results. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more educative contents such as this. And if you have any questions or want to share your thoughts, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. We look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, keep researching.